Now in GMA with both the NHL and NBA finals headed to game fives. Two ESPN analysts are with us this morning, former NHL star PK Subban and former NBA star Iman Shumpert. Welcome. Good morning to the both of you. PK, let's go ahead and start with you here because Stanley Cup final, it's tied 2-2. How do you see the momentum shifting tonight?
Well, you know what? Hockey's a team sport, so you need everybody involved to win. It takes 16 wins to win the Stanley Cup, and the momentum's going to shift back and forth. The momentum shifted once again in Game 4, and it was on the back of Leon Draisaitl, who, by the way, has 19 career overtime goals, which leads the Edmonton Oilers franchise. You consider Wayne Gretzky and all the great players that have played for that franchise. Sets a single season postseason record for overtime goals with 4, beating out John LeClaire. That is the epitome of greatness. And even though it's a team sport, you need individual efforts from your stars, and no one was bigger than Leon Draisaitl. He and Connor McDavid will have to have big moments in this series, but they're playing against the Stanley Cup champions, and going into Edmonton, they've had a lot of success on the road. So a lot of pressure, but I expect it to be the game of the year. No question.
And PK, you're Canadian, so you know how those big hockey rivalries are in the country. So is all of Canada just sort of pulling for the Oilers right now?
Definitely. Canadians want to see the Cup come back to Canada. There's no question. The last Cup in '93 going to the Montreal Canadiens. And how can you pick against the Edmonton Oilers with how great Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid have been? They've been dominant in the league. So very deserving for them to raise the Cup. But the best team will raise the Stanley Cup this year. And, Canada wants it. But I'll tell you something. We saw what happened at the Four Nations, that rivalry. No one wants to see Matthew Tkachuk on Edmonton win again. These players are going to see each other in the Olympics, see them in the World Cup of Hockey. So there's a game within the game. And I can tell you, on it being Trump's birthday today, I'm sure everybody in the U.S. would like to see the Florida Panthers go up 3-2 in this series. But Canada wants that cup bad, so we'll have to see what happens. But no bigger game in this series than tonight.
All right, Iman, let's turn to you in the NBA Finals. The Thunder, they evened up the series at 2 games apiece after beating the Pacers last night. Which players stood out to you?
I think the backcourt of OKC, having SGA in MVP mode down the stretch, also having Jalen Williams play extremely well, similar to what we saw in the previous game with Demhard just being alongside Halliburton. We saw the same thing at the end of the game with SGA getting to his spots, making sure he's got his guys under control. He didn't, account for many assists like he did in previous games, but every time they needed him to take over, that's exactly what he did. He put them on their back. And when he didn't have those times and those opportunities, Jalen Williams gave him a chance to get a rest, get his feet under him, calm everything down. He made shots, he made plays. I love the balance of that backcourt.
And Iman, this loss had to sting for Indiana. A big game 5 coming up Monday. How do the Pacers bounce back and get back on track?
Bouncing back for the Pacers should be easy. The Pacers always have an unsung hero every game. They don't need to come out and try and play outside themselves. I think Pascal Siakam did a great job showing that he's already a champion and that he can continue to keep the train on the tracks. I think Obi and the rest of these guys that are playing alongside of Halliburton, they do a great job of stepping up when they need to. They do a great job of playing the right way until somebody gets hot, and they play off of that. I think they need to just stay focused on making sure that they get defensive stops and they get rebounds so that they can run out in transition, because trying to set up your offense against that OKC defense is extremely hard. It's extremely hard to manufacture points out of there once they're set. So I just want to see them in transition, playing free, and making sure Halliburton is getting 2 feet in the paint every possession.
All right, Iman and PK, we got playoff fever on the ice, on the court. It's all happening. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And, of course, you can catch Game 5 in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. That is tonight, and then the NBA Finals Monday night at 8:30 Eastern right here on ABC.